All right, good afternoon. It's a little past 5, so I'm going to begin to get started out of respect for your time. My name is John Dipollina. I am the Director of Golf here at Lyman Orchards, and I am the proud head coach of our PGA Junior League here at Lyman. We're going to go over everything that you're going to probably need to know from a basic standpoint for the PGA Junior League season in just a couple of minutes. If you have any questions throughout the process, feel free to hold them till the end. Feel free to ask during them. Feel free to type them into the chat. I will certainly try to address all those questions. And if you feel like you don't want to ask in front of everyone, that's fine too. You can always email me, and my email address will appear at the very end of this. But I'm going to attempt to share my screen here, and we're going to get started with PGA Junior League 2022. Let's see here. All right. So our agenda for this afternoon, we'll talk about the quick history of our league and how it's thrived in the past 4 seasons. I'll introduce you to the coaching staff. I will talk about the PGA, MyPGA app, and how that's different from last year. We'll talk about the 13U schedule, the 17U schedule, depending on what team your son and daughters are on. What team is your child on? The match format, our all-star selections, how we go through that process, parent involvement, what we expect from you, the parents, and jerseys and gifts at the very end. We'll do questions and answers. All right, talk quick about the history of our program. This program was resurrected in 2018 when I took the job here at Lyman. We've grown from 0 participants in 2017 to 192 last season. We were the largest program in the state of Connecticut for the past 3 seasons, and we were awarded the Game Changer Award for that distinguishment. And we are actually the 7th largest program in the entire country last year. I think we're the biggest on the East Coast, which is really a proud point for our team here at Lyman. Here are the head coaches for 2022. You'll notice that there are 6 coaches. In the past, we had 4 teams at the 13U level and 2 teams at the 17U level. But with the growth of the program and the continued feedback that I get from the different parents and the coaches, we decided to go to a 6-team format. You'll see some familiar faces there, including Andrew Frappier, Dan Hannibal, Jason Goblik, Sienna Fucci's new, myself, and then Alex Cavalieri. But all of us are either PGA or LPGA accredited. We are the head coaches, and we will be assisted by members of my staff who have either a lot of background in the game of golf or background with our camp program here, but these are the head coaches. Downloading the MyPGA app. This is the way we're going to communicate with, this is the way your coach is going to communicate with you in the future. It's really important that you download this app. You can download it for Google Play, or you can download it from the Apple Store. It's going to give you all of the information you're going to need all season long. I put a couple of this.
I'll see you later.
Guys, just to remind you, if you could make sure you're all on mute, I'd appreciate that. So just click on the mute button, and that would be a huge help. Thank you. Going back to the MyPGA app, it's different than last year's app, so please download that. It's going to show you what team your son or daughter is assigned to, the schedule for the season, the jersey color that you'll wear on game days, everyone who's on your son or daughter's team. There'll be a messaging and chat feature so that if you're running a couple of minutes late for practice, you can just simply text the coach, and the coach will know. There's an RSVP feature in there that's really, really important. I'll talk about that just in a minute. Obviously, you can upload some photos and videos. If you see, if you have a fun picture and you want to share with the rest of the team, please do so. News is there as well. I'm putting on push notifications at the bottom there. And I beg you to please not opt out of that. That's really important for us, and it'll be really important for you. One of the things we took some pride in the past couple of seasons is we give you an exact time that your son or daughter is going to practice, and we give you an exact time that your son or daughter is going to actually tee it up on game day. We have a large program here, so we don't want to tell little Johnny to come to at 2 p.m. when he's really teeing it up at 3:30. So we ask you to please use this RSVP feature in order to tell us if your son or daughter is not coming to the game. I mean, you might be going on vacation and miss a week, or you just simply have too many things going on that day, or you're going to a graduation and that trumps the PGA Junior League that day. That's fine. Just use that RSVP function so that we know your son or daughter is not coming. You'll get a reminder from me 48 hours out or 24 hours out if we haven't heard from you. And that's why I say don't turn off those push notifications, because that's how it's going to come. It's going to come via push. I could talk more about that later if anybody has any questions, but the app is still a work in progress according to PGA National. A couple of you have noticed that in the past couple of weeks. We're working those kinks out, but that's our main method of communication. I'm going to jump right into our 13U schedule. Practices are on Mondays and Wednesdays, as you may have seen already. Matches are all on Sundays. Practices on Mondays and after the first match on the 15th. So we have 2 scheduled practices on Mondays, this coming Monday the 2nd and on the 9th. We have every Wednesday from May 4th through the first Wednesday in July scheduled for practice. So we will be meeting twice a week. We have a practice scheduled, at least one practice scheduled, and matches scheduled. So this is a 2-day-a-week program. Total of 6 guaranteed matches. If we have a rain out for one of those matches, we will make it up. We have some room on the back end of the calendar to make those up. If a practice is rained out, it won't be rescheduled. So we've overscheduled the practices because we feel like 1 or 2 is probably going to be rained out. In the past, we've always had 10 scheduled practices. This year we scheduled 13, thinking we're going to probably have to rain out 2 or 3. You never know. I hope not. Maybe we'll get all 13 in, but just in case, so everybody knows about that. All the practice times are scheduled. You'll see that when you download the app, when you find out which team your son or daughter is on. And match times are currently scheduled in a range, but 24 hours out, usually the evening before the match, Saturday night, you'll get an exact time when your son or daughter is going to be teeing it up. The one match that's not scheduled currently in the app is the match on July 10th. That's week 6. To build some drama there, we're going to schedule that match by seed. So if we'll have the 1 and the 2 play each other, the 3 and the 4 play each other, and the 5 and the 6 play each other, just to build a little bit of drama in the league for those matches. 17U, older boys and girls, it's a little different. Practices are on Wednesdays and Fridays with matches on Fridays. There's a total of 6 guaranteed inside matches. What I mean by inside matches is we are going to play each other. We have 2 17U teams. One is going to be coached by myself, the other by Coach Alex. And we'll have 6 guaranteed matches and 9 scheduled practices. Again, if the practice is rained out, it won't be rescheduled. But all the practice times are scheduled, and the match times are currently in a range. We'll have more. That's a little bit easier to schedule because the group of kids in 17U isn't as large, but we do try to get it to be exact as well. The Jamboree matches. So this is something that only is valid for the 17U kids. Jamboree is basically where the Lyman kids will go to Wampanoag in West Hartford, and they'll play against the Manchester kids and the kids from Tumblebrook and the kids from Watertown, and they all get together and they play a match. This was very successful last year. We had some fun days over at Clinton Country Club. I know we had a nice Monday match there. We've had matches at Springfield Country Club. The kids get to play some different venues. That's a little different than the 13U, where 13U is all at the Apple 9. But since the kids are getting older and some of the 17U kids are playing high school golf, we want to give them a taste of what it's like to play some different courses in this Jamboree style. really has been a great success throughout the state. The matches have not been scheduled yet. I've scheduled mine right now, but I haven't released that date yet. And as the other coaches from the state relay their match dates to me, I will upload that to the 17U calendar. Format of play. So a lot of you parents have never participated in PGA Junior League before. This is a format that's lends itself to very beginner competition. And what do I mean by that? Well, two players, a boy and a girl, two boys, two girls, a 13-year-old and a 7-year-old, maybe two 11-year-olds, they'll go out together as a twosome. And basically little Johnny hits the ball in the woods and little Janie hits the ball right on the green. Well, you're going to take Janie's shot and the kids are going to putt from Janie's shot. Let's just say Janie hits it 5 feet by the hole, but Johnny knocks his to 1 inch by the hole. Now they're going to play from Johnny's shot and top in from there. It's a very laid back format. It helps the kids because they don't have the pressure of playing their own ball. It's been a great success. It moves play along. Pace of play is always important to us here at Lyman Orchards in our junior program, and this really helps play speed along. So you'll see that that's the way we play. A lot of parents are a little intimidated at first. They're like, wait a minute, my 7-year-old is playing with a 13-year-old? That's weird. It's not as weird as you'd think, actually. The 13 and 12-year-olds act as little mentors to the 7 and 8-year-olds. It's pretty adorable to see a 13-year-old takes the 7 or 8-year-old under their wing. The 13-year-old is playing from a different tee box more than likely than the 7-year-old. So because the tee boxes are different length, it makes it a little fair. And it works out really, really well. My 7-year-old is going to take part in our league this year. And I actually look forward to him playing with some of the 12 and 13-year-old kids on his team, because I think he'll have a good learning experience from those older boys and girls. It's not just the score, it's a scoring format, which every 3 holes you start from scratch again. So let's just say that Team Dan is playing Team John and Team Dan's team wins the first 3 holes. Congratulations, Team Dan, you get 1 point. And on hole 4, a new match starts. So let's just say that my team got hot on 4, 5, and 6, and I win all those holes. Well, I get 1 point. And then we go to hole 7 where the match starts again. Those are called flags. Kids will be taught in their first 4 practices how to score. They'll try to do their own scorecards. Sometimes it's a little harder with the younger kids, but that's another benefit to having the younger kids matched up with the older kids. The older kids can show them. We'll set the kids aside for 15 minutes during one of the practices and show them how to properly work the scorecard as well. All the matches, as I stated earlier, for 13U are on the Apple 9. Juniors are placed at the green tees, the yellow tees, or orange tees based on experience. I kind of touched upon that earlier. We're changing that a little bit. Last year, we kind of structured it to say all kids of a certain age have to play the green tees. All kids of a certain age play yellow and then orange. We're going to change that a little bit based on our first 3-4 practices. We want these kids to always be challenged. We have some 10 or 11-year-old kids that are playing nationally. We have some 13-year-old kids that never picked up a golf club before. So we want to make sure that we're not just rubber stamping a kid based on his age or we want to use experience as well when it comes to that. 17U, it's a little different. All the matches will be on Jones and Player when we have our inside matches. And boys will play from the gold tees while the girls will play from the red tees. There is a change there. When the kids get to about 13, 14 years old, things change. Their physical strength change, and we want to make sure that they're playing where they would play if they had a high school match. So that's why the boys will play from the gold tees here at Lyman Orchards, and the girls will play from the reds. All-Stars. We've had quite good success the past few years with our All-Stars. We've been able to grow some kids and turn them into some really, really good golfers. The All-Star format has changed this year, and I'm going to try to explain it, but it might be a little confusing through here, but I'm going to do my very best. This year, our 13U is going to have two all-star teams. There's going to be a varsity and a junior varsity. Basically, the top 8 kids will be on the varsity team, and then the next 8 kids, who we think would be, the JV team for all-stars, will compete on that second team. Team A is going to have 2 ways to get to the regional competition. One is going to be the traditional way, where they'll compete at the sub-regionals Wednesday, August 3rd and Thursday, August 4th. That sub-regional competition invites all the teams from the state to participate. And we have the lucky honor of playing host once again for a 4th straight year. So Lyman Orchards will play host to that statewide competition. Our Team A will also have the ability to travel. There's a new format. It's called play-in days. Maybe some of you have heard about it. It's basically a way to expand the playoffs. I'm not going to go too into detail here because it's quite tricky to explain. But just know that the Team A, our varsity team, will have 2 opportunities to advance to the regional competition. In the past, the regional competition has been held at different courses across New England and northern New York. This year, it's going to be held right here at Lyman Orchards. We have the ability. We are actually playing host the next 2 seasons, so it's a big pat on the back to everything that's gone on at the Jones and Player course, as well as our Apple 9 program here. And we'll be hosting not only the sub-regional but the regional. The junior varsity team will have a team of 8 all-stars that will compete only at the sub-regional level here at August 3rd and 4th. If either of our teams finish in the top 4 of all the teams in the state, we will get to go and play on the 4th, on Thursday, August 4th. If we win on August 4th, which we never have in the past, but we sure try hard, we will then advance to the regional competition, and then the winner of the regional competition moves on to the national championship, which you might have seen on ESPN last year. The Connecticut team actually got to the national championship. They got to the final, and they actually lost basically on the last hole by a kid who just hit an unbelievable shot on the 8th hole. But that was all on ESPN, which was pretty outstanding. How do the kids get chosen to all-stars from the 13U and 17U level? They'll be chosen by the head coaches. To be as clear as possible, this is how we do it. All 6 coaches write down their top 8 kids. We match cards. If 5 of the kids are on all 6 coaches' lists, they're automatically on the team. Let's just say there's 1 kid that's on 5 of the 6. That person is on the team. It goes from there on until we have our first team of 8. The second team of 8 will be chosen in a similar manner. We feel like the coaches are the ones that know the kids the best. They see them in practice every day. They see them in the matches. We also talk a little bit, as you could imagine, about the heroics of one kid's shot versus another. So it's pretty neat to see. And but the coaches will be choosing the all-stars. 17U will have 1 all-star team. It's a team of 6 all-stars that compete at the sub-regionals, once again, here at Lyman Orchards. All-stars will compete in play. That 1 team will compete in the play-in days, as the 13U varsity team will. The play-in days are played throughout the region, and the regionals are also here at Lyman Orchards. That is a September date. But the Wednesday, the 3rd and 4th are important for the 17U team, and it's going to be run in a very similar manner as 13U. The big difference is we have 6 all-stars as opposed to 8. Parent involvement. All right, I am a parent of a 7-year-old, and he plays coach pitch baseball, and he plays PGA Junior League. So I know exactly what I'm getting into here. I'm going to ask all the parents to remember that the coaches are the coaches and the parents will be the parents. These coaches are certified by the PGA or LPGA. They know what they're doing. They'll be working with your sons and daughters all season long. I ask you to not coach these kids while they're here on the course. It's really important. I'll touch a little bit about everything else after, but we want to treat this like going to a Travelers Championship event. So if you were going to the Travelers Championship this coming June and you saw Rory McIlroy hit a bad shot on the first tee, you're not going to say anything to Rory. And if you do, they'll probably throw you out of there. You're just going to clap and cheer, and that's pretty much it. If your son or daughter hits a great shot, we want you to cheer. We want you to clap. We want you to hoot and holler. If they have a bad shot, we still want you to clap and cheer and, pick them up. But we don't want you saying, hey, you should have hit the hybrid. Why did you hit the 6-iron? Or, we don't want stuff like that. We don't want you to do that. So we're going to remind you now. I'll probably be reminding the parents at some point during the course of the season. Please don't coach your kids while they're on the golf course. What are we asking of you? Do not give shot advice. You're not allowed to carry the bags for these kids. This is a learning lesson. We want the kids to carry their own bags or use a push cart. We do ask you to help look for errantly hit balls, just like they would on a tour event. They're helping look for errantly hit balls out there. And we're asking the parents to always be on the perimeter of the golf course. What do I mean by that? Stay in the rough, stay off the fairway, stay on the sides of the kids, not behind the kids. That's for your own safety, so the group behind you doesn't hit you. But if you stay on the sides of them or slightly up ahead, those are good spots to watch from. Again, no parent involvement on the fairways or the greens. If you're playing the Jones Player Course and parents want to come up there, that's fine. Please stay on the cart path at all times. The older kids definitely don't want your advice and help. I can guarantee you that. So please stay on the cart path. My philosophy on parent involvement is less is more on the game day. Your kids are going to look over to you.
Hey, what's up, man?
Shot, you just make sure you give them a thumbs up.
Too much.
Don't hang your head if the kids have a bad shot. I know that sounds like overcoaching.
Yeah, those are the pictures
If
after.
we could please mute all the computers, I'd appreciate that. Thank you. Just try not to overcoach the kids. You'll get a lot more out of it. We allow parents to rent golf carts. We have a smaller fleet here at the Apple Line. We only have 20 carts on a hot day. Sometimes those carts go fast.
Hold on a second. Yes, can I help you?
Can somebody please, can you please mute?
No, I'm on the meeting and I'm on the phone. Yes.
If everybody could please mute their
Sorry,
no problem. All right, so we're talking about rental carts. If everybody wants to, if you want to rent a cart, you can. They won't run out at Jones Player, but we might run out at Apple 9. We ask you to make sure that those grandparents or people that have some disabilities can please get those carts first. We want everybody to be able to watch their kids and their grandkids play golf, but certain people are going to need those carts more. We're only charging $9 a cart. Basically, it's just a placeholder so that we have the carts out there for the people that really need it. And at Jones Player, it's $10 a cart. It's just because it's a longer golf course. And that's pretty much what I have to say about the cart situation. And then jerseys and gifts. Basically, everybody signed up online. You already signed up with your kid's favorite number. You signed up with whether they're going to get a hat or a visor, if their hat is going to be an adult or a youth size. But you're going to be getting 2 jerseys. And the cute thing about this year is it actually is going to have your son or daughter's last name on the back, which I think is a really nice touch. They're going to get a little bag tag they can put on their bags. They're going to have that drawstring backpack with everything's going to be put in. We have not gotten the jerseys yet. I did submit for them about 2 weeks ago. I believe they're going to be arriving soon. I don't think we'll get them by Monday for the first practice, but I'm guaranteeing you that most of them will be in by, we'll have them in your hands before the last practice so that you can have them for our first match on the 15th. Going back to the match schedule quickly while it's fresh in my mind, there will be no match on Memorial Day weekend. There's no match on Father's Day weekend, and there's no match on July 4th weekend. That's why the regular season stretches out over 9 weeks. I just want to remind you guys all that. No match on Memorial Day weekend, no match on Father's Day weekend, no match on July 4th weekend. But these bags will be coming in soon, and I look forward to all of those coming in. All right, so now I will open it up to some questions. I'm going to open up the chat here. Let's see. If anybody's posted anything, feel free to post something if you have any questions, or simply unmute and ask your question, and put your video on, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Can you hear me, John?
I can.
Okay, my question to you is, I looked at the schedule, and it's scheduled that they do have a match on Father's Day.
I'm pretty sure. Which team is your son or daughter on?
She's on Team Sienna.
Father's Day is what, the 19th this year, if I'm guessing correctly?
Is it? I thought it was the 20. I have no idea.
I
thought
think
it was
it's
like
the
the
19th.
Is it the 19th?
19th is Father's Day this year.
So I'd have to
Oh,
go
okay.
back. I don't have my app open. I guess I can open it up and look to see if I scheduled 19.
You didn't, there's nothing on the 19th.
Okay, so that's good.
Yeah, I thought it was the 20. The 27th. Okay, I'm sorry.
No worries. No, that's a good question. I'm sure someone else probably was thinking the same thing with that rotating holiday.
So my last question for right now. I know that you said that parents weren't allowed or assist them like to read the greens even. Would that be who they're partner up with? Is that how that's gonna work?
Yep. So if you and I, Danny, are partners, you're working together. There's a little two-man team. The parents are not allowed to get involved at all. I really only want the parents to help look for golf balls. Occasionally, the parents will hold the scorecard. I hate even doing that, because then the parents get involved with scoring and who won the match and all this stuff. It gets more competitive than I want it to. So I really push the kids to really do their own scorecards. We're going to teach these kids how to do the scorecards in practice. We're going to set aside some time in one of the first 4 practices to do that. So I would encourage you to just kick back, relax, enjoy watching your son or daughter play golf out there, and let them make the mistakes. Because I've always been one that always learned the hard way. And I've played competition golf. I'll be playing tomorrow, and I've been disqualified from tournaments for making mistakes. None of the kids are going to get disqualified from this tournament, but that's how you really learn.
Yeah, the one I don't know if you were familiar with, same thing last year at Stanley. We were able to assist them even with the opposite team to how to read the greens and stuff like that. They were a little more lenient with that, but I think this is like, this here is college golf, we'll say.
Well, they'll be, trust me when I say they'll be fine. We just try to get it a little more hands off, because the more hands on you get, the slower this round of golf turns into. And on a 93-degree day, we don't want it to be a death march out there for the kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are they able to use rangefinders to see distance so they can determine clubs they want to use, John? Or is that?
Yep, they can. They can, especially at that 17U level. We see that a lot on Jones Player for second shots. Something you don't see a lot here at the Apple 9 is the rangefinder, because 7 of the 9 holes are par 3s. So that the par 3s are actually marked with they're marked with plates and give you the exact yardage. So on number 2 and number 9, the par 4s might see a little bit of range usage. Those par 4s are also marked with a big red pole in the middle, which mark 100 yards. So if it could be used, that's fine. There's no rule against it, but it's really only used at the 17U level here.
That was a good question.
Do the kids need golf shoes? I got a question on the chat board. They don't need golf shoes. Sneakers are fine. We do have tons of shoes available. If you want to purchase a pair of shoes, we have every size available here. Nike and some Puma are coming in as well here at our golf shop. What I would tell you is flip-flops are a terrible idea. Crocs are not much better. So I would say they need to have sneakers. Golf shoes are awesome. I wouldn't play without them personally, but for the kids with their feet growing as fast as they do, I understand if you don't want to dip in there and get some golf shoes, but no Crocs and no flip-flops. Is it possible to request a later tee time if needed? So that's there's a tiny tiny yes in there. You've been assigned to a team that's scheduled in a slot. So the matches are on Sundays. So sometimes you'll be in the 2 o'clock slot. Sometimes you'll be in the 3:30 slot. Sometimes you'll be in the 5 p.m. slot. If you needed to be in the latest time and you're slotted in the 5 o'clock slot, well, you'll be at the 6:20 tee time or 6:10 tee time. If you need a 6 p.m. tee time, but your team is scheduled in the 2 o'clock slot, the best we're really going to be able to do is 3:10, 3:20. You'll be able to send a note when you RSVP. And in that note, make sure you say, listen, I really need a later tee time. Your coach will do their very best to accommodate you. I only ask people to do that if they absolutely need to. We do understand that there's other extracurricular activities in your lives and we want to accommodate, but if everybody starts putting in every single week that they want an earlier or late tee time, that's going to create a disaster. I tried to avoid that by with at least the practice schedule by asking all the parents if they wanted to be in on the 4:30, 5:30, or 6:30 team. Essentially, I think I accommodated 57 requests. So I'm happy to have done that. I'm glad it's over. And but so yes, we could possibly take a little bit later tee time, but it might not be as late as you want. Question from Catherine: does 17U play 9 holes? They do. They play 9 holes of golf. You're looking at about a 2 hour and 15 minutes, 2 hour and 30-minute window for 17U. Takes a little bit longer than to play the Apple 9. The Apple 9 kids are going to get around in 1 hour and 45 minutes, 2 hours and 15 minutes. The reason it's longer for the 17U kids is the course is longer. It's just a bigger course. Par 36 as opposed to par 29th here at Apple. Question: is the app populated now? Yes, the app is ready to go. So the whole schedule.
Hey, John, sorry. This is Brad. I asked a question. So I downloaded the app. I signed up, I guess, right? I got to sign up initially, right?
You do have to sign up for I believe it's called MyPGA. You're in the 13U, correct? Brad?
Correct.
Ryan's in 13U. So 13U is loaded. It's all 100%. 17U might have a couple things that haven't been loaded in yet, namely those special matches, the jamboree matches. But 13U should be loaded to go and ready to go.
So I must be missing something here because I'm in the calendar, the month view, and on the 15th, on the 2nd, I don't see anything in there. No events.
Let me pull it up here. PGA Coach.
Maybe I'm not using this thing correctly.
I have both apps, so let me take a look at the MyPGA app because I have it for my son, obviously, too. Let's see. Calendar function.
Like, how does it tie into? I mean, I signed up with my email address. How does it tie into Ryan? How does it know?
Did you sign up with? I'll have to look into that. Figure out. Did you sign in with Did you sign up with the same email address you signed up with?
That's a good question.
That would be my first check and balance there. Try that. I have the email address you signed up with. Obviously, I'll write a little note to myself.
Well, just tell me, is it Gmail or Yahoo?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you were looking at it.
No, I wish I could.
I'll just try the other one. That's fine. Okay.
And if that doesn't work, we'll go to the next step. If anyone's having problems with the app, I'd like to think that I am, Elon Musk, and I'm a programmer. I'm everything. I'm not. I have no clue how this app really works from a technical standpoint. But if you go to PGAJRLeague.com or you open up the app, I believe in the bottom right corner, there's like a help little guy there. Those people are pretty helpful. They know exactly what's going on. It's not a live chat, but they will get back to you if you're having some trouble. All right, let's see. Let's scroll up the chat board here. Brad, you'll have to show me how to mute everybody another time. I couldn't find that. What is the typical day and time you will hear from the coaches to determine start times on Sunday matches? Listen, if all the parents RSVP, you'll get that information by 3 p.m. on Saturday. If the parents don't RSVP, we're trying to track them down and trying to wait it out so we can give everybody an exact time. I try to get the coaches to get it out there before 8 p.m. I know that's a little late, but we're already giving a basic time frame to get the kids out there. We want to get you that exact time frame. But sometimes it's as late as 8 p.m. the night before. Sue, I don't see anything on the app either. Make sure that you're signing in with the same email address that you signed up for when you signed up originally. If not, email me and I'll try to get to the bottom of that. Will the 13U players have an opportunity to play the Jones Player Course? Kenny, they will not, unfortunately, not until AllStars. We could speak further about that, but for the regular season, the 13U program will be from the orange, will be at the Apple 9. I did hear something about the app. Now that I think about it, if you're having problems with the app, delete it and re-download it. I heard that updates the app or something along those lines, and everything will work. If it's still not working, make sure you're taking a look at the email address and make sure you're using the same email address you signed up with. But I did see that. I did see that in one of the help registries. Like, you have the same user. Okay, Ashley kind of said the same thing, I think. So hopefully that helps. Are there any other questions in regards to anything I've gone over?
Is there any other benefits, like say the kids, I know we have practice Monday, Wednesday, then match play on Sunday. If they wanted to go, say on Tuesday, hit balls down there, is there any discounts or anything for them to do that?
Good question. Before the matches, we don't charge for range balls. So before those 6 matches, we want these kids to come out and we want them to sign up, and we want them to do that. On the other days, there aren't any discounts for golf or practice time. We do have a junior season pass here for $3.99. They can play the golf course as much as they want all year, and they hit every range ball they want all year for free. It's kind of a steal, especially if you can get your kids here a couple times a week. For $399, it's a complete steal. If the family wants to get involved, we have some opportunities for couple season pass, which is father-son, mother-daughter, mother-son. That's fine too. We have a family season pass. Up to 5 people in the family can be holders of season pass here, which means you won't pay for the greens fees. You won't pay for any range balls. Something I am honoring this year is everybody who's in PGA Junior League can get 10% off on their junior merchandise all year long. I've had a lot of juniors come up to me and say, Coach, I've grown out of my clubs. Actually, it's not the kids saying it, it's the parents saying it. What can you do anything for us? There's 2 things we are doing for you. We've started a trade-in program where you trade in your US Kids golf clubs and upgrade to a new set, whether it's US Kids or Callaway or some of my teen sets here. We only take the US Kids on trade. We don't take the Acuity junior sets, just US Kids. I know the integrity of that product is very high. So I do take US Kids on trade. And we do have a few used sets that have been traded in already this year. So we have the ability to do that as well. I have some box sets here for the juniors that are in the $300 price range. And for the little kids, it's a little bit less than that. So we do have that trade-in program, which is, it's been taken advantage of quite a bit in the past season. Let's see. I don't think there's any more questions on the app. Does anyone else have anything else they want to ask me? Feel free. If not, you could certainly email me at jdipollina@lymangolf.com. I will be sending a follow-up email to everyone here. There's some parents that obviously couldn't make it to this Zoom presentation, and I'm gonna upload this to YouTube so they can have the link.
Hey, John, one quick question.
Sure.
Are the rosters out already on the PGA web, on the app?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They are for 13U. 17U has not been loaded in yet. I haven't started this. The 17U season doesn't start till late May because of high school golf going on at the same time. You can't play both. So 13U, the rosters are loaded. 17U, they're not loaded.
Okay. We're having trouble viewing that, so we might have to just delete the app, like you said, and probably reload it.
Try deleting it, re-download it, And I guess I can start, I'll try to get the 17U stuff uploaded tomorrow. But I haven't rostered the teams yet. I don't think I
have a
did.
question.
Okay,
I have a question. You
sure.
mentioned, do the kids need a full set?
What I would tell you is what the kids need is a bag, a driver. I would say a mid iron, a short iron, and a putter. That's what they need. They need 4 clubs, really. Doesn't sound like a lot. The clubs that I sell here are 5 club sets. They actually have a hybrid mixed in there. The ones I sell have a driver, hybrid, 7 iron, pitching wedge, putter. Sure, you could get away with a lot more, but the kids are going to be carrying this bag around.
Right.
They don't need 30 balls in the bag. They don't need 14 clubs. It's going to weigh them down. They don't even know what the difference is between a 7 iron and 8 iron from a distance standpoint. I'd say for 85 to 90% of the kids in the league. So less is more. And like I said, the ones I have for sale here, they only have 5 clubs in them.
Yeah. Okay.
They allowed to use colored balls, John?
Oh, I encourage it. Makes more fun.
Yeah, I do. That's what I do with them. We all have different colors and we all find our balls that way. It's easier.
Paul, there'll be more like pink balls than you've ever seen in your life out here. And there's certainly not going to be many white golf balls, I can promise you. All right, well, if there are no more questions, I'll let everybody go and have a good dinner with their family. I know that's where I'm going next. I want to thank everybody for joining me for this Zoom. Like I said, if you have any questions you just didn't want to ask over Zoom, feel free to simply email me, jdipollina@lymangolf.com. We're going to get started next Monday. You'll meet your coach. Practice times are already in the schedule. 17U, be patient, a few more weeks, and we'll start your 17U program up. And until then, thank you for joining me. See you soon.
Thanks,
Take
John.
it easy.
Thanks, John. Have a good night.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.